Now, call me crazy if you must, but I have this radical idea that if a nation gains admission to an international human rights council, then that nation should actually demonstrate a commitment to, well, human rights. That's not the case at the loony bin known as United Nations. When one scrutinizes the membership of the countries that belong to the UN's Human Rights Council, it almost comes across as a rogues gallery of the worst human rights violators on the planet. Batting leadoff is Saudi Arabia. Yes, Saudi Arabia is on the UN Human Rights Council. Now, while some progressives rail against Israeli apartheid that doesn't actually exist, apartheid classic is happening just down the Middle East street inside the Saudi kingdom. That's where half the population, the female half, is blatantly discriminated against. A Saudi woman can't drive a car, she can't go out in public without a male guardian, and she better not dress provocatively. And when I say provocatively, I mean donning something other than the fabric tomb that is the burqa. Oh, and if you happen to be gay in Saudi Arabia, let's put it this way, coming out of the closet might just lead you straight into a coffin. Then there's Venezuela, a country where police and security forces arrest, detain, and beat members of the public with impunity. Venezuelans are also denied basic medicines and supplies. Not that any of this gets much press coverage in Caracas, given the censorship that prevails, but Venezuela is a member of the Human Rights Council too. In fact, Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro delivered a speech at the UN last month. The topic, and you better sit down for this one, folks, respect for the principles and purposes of the UN Charter as they relate to international peace and security. Oh, come on. That's just not fair. How can the writers at Saturday Night Live create satirical content when the reality at the UN is beyond parody? In fact, the list of Human Rights Council members with atrocious human rights records is a long one, from Algeria and Nigeria to China and Russia. Now, granted, that's the way it's been for years at the United Bars, inviting the most egregious regimes to be part of a council that champions the very rights these member nations deny their own citizens back home. But here's something new, folks. Your tax dollars are now being earmarked to prop up this farce. Foreign Affairs Minister Dion recently announced a $15 million contribution to the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights. Dion said Canada wants to re-engage with the Council as part of the Liberal government's broader embrace of the UN. But why? A spokesman for Dion says while Canada recognizes the shortcomings of the Council, the feeling is that the only way to improve the Council is by engaging it directly. Is anyone buying that? Does anyone seriously believe that a Canadian presence on the Council chastising the likes of Saudi Arabia or Venezuela will bring about policy changes in those regimes? Sorry, Canada doesn't have that kind of clout. And check out this sordid statistic. During the past 15 years, 62% of the countries that served on the Human Rights Council were either dictatorships or authoritarian. Yes, almost 2/3 were the world's bullies. Now, the following clip is not the UN Human Rights Council in action, but it could be. Leslie Nielsen, now there was a great Canadian. And again, call me crazy, but wouldn't it be better for Canada, to boycott this farcical Human Rights Council rather than prop it up with millions of your tax dollars? For the Rebel.media, I'm David the Menzoid Menzies.